Hi, everyone. I guess I do have a little bit more to say today. And since I have hair and makeup done, why not? So I'm going to talk a little bit about musical director protocol on both sides. I have been with the same musical director for years, so I know what his rules are. And in the very beginning, we discussed what it is he expected from me as a singer. Those were to show up on time, to text or call if I'm going to be late, to have my payment ready, be it by check or cash, at the start of the session. I usually put it down on the piano and then go set myself up. To give ourselves 3 to 5 minutes of wrap up time to say thank you or goodbye or last feedback on the last song. Pack up your stuff and you're out of the room before or exactly at the time that the other person is scheduled to walk into the room. Now, most musical directors will let you know if there's a 48-hour or 24-hour cancellation policy, which means if you can't make your session for any reason and cancel within 48 hours or 24 hours, depending on their rules, you don't get charged because they can then rebook that space in that amount of time. However, you could also ask them if they have a gratis one-off if, say, once a year you're sick and you cancel at the last minute. Maybe that's built into their policy, but just don't make it a habit because if you make it a habit, you will have to pay for those sessions if you don't show up. And that's just because this is their job. This is their business. I mean, you wouldn't go into work and then walk out for an hour off the clock and not give your boss an hour of your time. So why should these people make less money for that hour that they have booked in earnest with you to not for you not to show up or not to pay them for it? They have to book their week. They make their rent and all their other expenses from the week that they do. So let's have a little more courtesy when it comes to cancellation policies and agreeing to pay for sessions that you've missed, if not excused by the musical director's policy. This goes for classes too. Now, Lena Katrakis has a ongoing class, and maybe there's 10 participants that actually sign up for 10 weeks. But she also has a sub list, which is awesome because if, say, so-and-so can't make it to class, they post on the Facebook group and say, hey, I need a sub. One of the sub list will take that one off, and then they will show up and pay for the session that the person who is canceling misses. So it's a win-win for everybody. And it's just smart because then I feel free to join a 10-week class knowing that I'm not going to be stuck with 4 weeks if something happens and I can't make 4 weeks of that 10-week class. I can sub it out to a substantial list. So that's another concept. But also be aware that if you don't get a sub, and you don't show up, you would then owe Lena that class session. On the other side of things, as singers, I think we need to be a little more courteous to each other. Most people book a 1 hour session, but what that means is we go in right at 1 o'clock. I personally put my money down on the piano, and you should put your check or however you're paying them down on the piano. Go over, set yourself up, and get to work and start to do your work. I always wrap things up anywhere between 5 to 3 minutes before my session is up in case Gregory has any feedback for me. And I'm out the door a minute or two or right on time before 2 o'clock, before the next person comes in for their session. It's just rude not to do that to another singer, to do that to another singer, quite frankly. Speaking of that next singer, if, say, I am paying by check and I am now at 1 o'clock, I take my session from 1 to 2 o'clock, and I'm now writing my check at 2 o'clock, and that person is coming in for their session at 2 o'clock, and I'm not out of that room until 2:05 or 2:07 because I've engaged in conversation. I'm writing my check. Well, that I'm booking my next session. Totally, totally not cool. You need to be out of that room because I don't want to pay for 5 minutes of your time schmoozing or writing a check when that's my time to be working. So please, please, please go in prepared, go in ready to boogie, and go in ready to pay and get out of that room in time for the next singer to come in. On the musical director's part, I would say that you should book in 15 minutes or 30 minutes every now and then throughout your day to stretch your legs, to get your coffee, to go to the bathroom, because in a 3 hour session, of course, I expect everybody to have to go to the bathroom at one point. But In a 1 hour session, it's a little disturbing to have someone jump up and go use the bathroom and come back into a session. You got to kind of restart and get back into the swing of things. And it's my time. I'm paying for you to go take a pee, and I don't think that's fair either. So I'm just saying that for those of you who might do that, consider that as part of your addressing these protocol issues back and forth so that we can all just be more courteous to each other. I guess that's it, short and sweet. I just wanted to bring up some of these things because I have experienced them over all these years of working together. And I want us all to be aware of how to treat each other and our beloved musical directors and directors better so that they're not having to come back and asking us or reminding us that we owe them money, etc., if in fact we've canceled at the last minute. Okay? Just be cool. Just be cool. Treat them the way you wanted to be treated if you were the teacher. Bottom line, always is the golden rule. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.